down, mind you, doing it aggressively right next to my face. He'd like reach past me and like rip his signs down. I'm like, okay, come on. I have so many plants ready to sell. Like, I've wanted to branch out on my own for quite some time. You guys ready to see how it goes? I'm excited. Making this sign right now, and my phone was holding that corner down. This is what this looks like.
Here you go, mommy.
Thank you.
This is just.
I shouldn't be walking through the construction site, but they're letting me. So what had happened is things went south with this man very quickly. The man who sells the fruit that I was selling my plants with. So, first of all, the way that I figured out to get my camera's microphone to work on a steady basis is if I have a background noise of like a white noise, so that's why you're gonna hear my fan this whole time, the bathroom fan. Also, excuse literally all of my belongings, other than my bed in the shot. My dog heard me talking and had to come in. You wanna sit in my lap? And my cat also. I'm tired and I have a headache and I'm upset too, so I'm gonna keep my glasses on so that I can see throughout this. So basically what had happened was I went out to sell my plants with that guy. My plan was to walk all of them over there. Like, how many trays is it? Like 5 trays of plants over there. And I started off with one of the heaviest ones with a bunch of jars full of water and started to walk over there, right? And realized quite quickly that the water, no matter what, was gonna spill everywhere because the jars were pretty full. So I stopped like right beginning of my walk and dumped out most of the water of all the jars and walked them over there, because the pothos plants I'm selling, they'll stay alive, they're fine, just put water back in it whenever you can. So I walked over there through construction workers staring at me. I talked about it earlier, I had a couple of them escort me, it was great, but they were nice. None of them like whistled at me or anything. That was really nice, actually. Thinking back, like, they were all staring at me, but I wore a really cute dress. I showed you guys this earlier. Adorable. I was feeling really good, and when I walked over there, the guy's friend pulled up, the guy I'm selling stuff with, and he was in a truck, and he offered me a ride home. He's another old man. These are just old dudes, you know, we're in like a farm type town, so I felt pretty safe with these guys, especially knowing that this guy I'm working with trusts that guy. And so I got a ride home from him. I was a little, like, I thought like this could be a scary situation, but it's not, it's fine. He was driving his truck like 10 miles an hour just because that's how he is. He drove me home, and then he was like, so here's the deal, you're gonna get your plants and you're gonna put them in the truck, the rest of them, and I'm gonna drive you back there. And I was like, you're so nice, thank you so much. So I didn't have to walk tray by tray across this horrible construction where I technically shouldn't have even been walking. I would have to be going a much longer route if I didn't want to go straight through where they're doing construction, but they have been allowing people to walk through there because they are taking way too long finishing this construction, and it's angering so many people in this neighborhood. It's hilarious. So they have been allowing certain people to walk through, so it's fine. They didn't even question me, they just let me go through, but like escorted me the first few times. Anyway, so this guy drove me there with all my plants, so I got to set my plants up after that. I guess I already showed you those clips of me sitting out there. I only got a couple of clips for a few minutes. Yeah, I sat out there with my dog for a while. It was really nice. We didn't sell anything though for a really long time. Nobody came up. partially, mostly because the sky looked like it was going to rain at any moment. It was bad, but it never rained. It sprinkled a couple times, and that's for mere seconds, and then would stop. So it was never a problem. It didn't rain on us. But eventually I started to sell a few. I sold one to a random guy, and then another guy came up, like an older gentleman. I'm pretty sure he was buying it for his wife, because he was like, yeah, those look really nice, I'll take two, like right away. And I was like, cool. And he seemed like he just wanted to support a local person, which was really nice too. So I sold two then. So I ended up making $40. I'm like forgetting the other person that I sold a plant to, but I know I sold another one. I just can't remember. Blanking, I guess. Anyway. So then, throughout the day, like, me and this old guy that I'm working with and selling stuff with, he's like, he jokes a lot. Not a lot, but just sometimes. And I noticed he kept making jokes about, like, his mom. But not about his mom, about me being like his mom. Like, he said it up to 3 times. And it got to the point, like he says it like a kid too. So he's like, gosh, you're like my mom. And it's like me not even doing anything specific. So it got to a certain point where, like, okay, if he's gonna joke with me and call me and say that I'm like his mom, then I'm gonna joke with him and say, quit comparing everyone to your damn mom, dude. Like, everybody has certain traits. That doesn't mean they're like your mom. And it's just weird to compare a woman to your mom all the time. Like, it wasn't me saying that because he said it once. It was because he'd said it like 4 times at that point. I was like, okay, dude, do you always compare women to your mom? Because, and in my mind, as I said that, I was like, are you having a hard time dating women? Because if you're always talking and comparing them to your mom, that might make them feel a little bit weird. Like, you can say they're motherly, or they're, I don't know, nurturing, just like saying specifically, you're like my mom, in like an insulting way. It's a backhanded compliment. It's something that like immediately irks me. It's a pet peeve. Like, if you want to be nice to a woman, why don't you just be nice and be respectful and say nice things? Why does it have to be backwards all the time? Like, why does it have to be nah? Like, why can't it just be nice? Like, from the heart, like I am. I don't understand. So anyway, it seemed like he got a little butthurt. This is why I'm over explaining it. He got a little butthurt when I said that. When I was like, why do you gotta compare everybody to your mom, you know? But I went back out to my plants and just sat with them after that. I was like, whatever. I didn't really think anything of it. And then later on, right, guys, when people finally started to come up to us, the sun was like getting closer to going down, but it wasn't. It was like 6 p.m. And people were finally starting to come up and buy my plants and buy his honey, his local honey, and all of his tomatoes and fruits. This girl bought a whole bag of his stuff. Right around that time, my lips were really dry. And I was thinking, oh, I saw that he had some honey lip balm in there. I want to ask him if I can have some. Just because I know that certain people on YouTube, like Tana Mojo, like to make up their story times. Yeah, here's proof. Here's the honey lip balm. Buzzin' bee balm. Yeah. Because he was giving me stuff. He knows that I'm really struggling right now. I'm technically homeless. Like, I'm staying with somebody right now temporarily, and it's not a good situation, to be honest. And I just got laid off from my job. So he knows that I'm struggling right now. He's been giving me fruit. He gave me some grapes. He gave me some tomatoes, a few potatoes, and honey. He gave me a jar of local honey that he has, because he says that honey, lemon water will really, really help me. And I actually have started drinking that, and it's really good. But especially to have local honey from your area, it really helps your allergies. Anyway, so he's been giving me stuff, so I thought I could ask him for something, you know? So I go out in there, and I'm like, hey, can I have some of your honey lip balm? And he goes in there, and he's like, yeah, here. And he says, your lips are dry, eh? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, let me kiss ya. that is where I draw the line, folks. So I didn't react right away. Like, I was just like, okay, no. Like, I immediately was like, no, you know. We were outside at that point, so there was like, he wasn't actually going to kiss me or try to, but he did like come towards me and my face and get about that close to my face when he did it. And I was like, no. And then he got me the honey bomb and gave it to me. And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's so hard to remember what I specifically said after that. What did I say right after? I think I was like, don't say that. Don't say stuff like that to me. And he was like, man, I don't know what I can say to you now. You're too sensitive. And if you've been gaslit enough, you know that this is gaslighting. Like, telling somebody they're being too sensitive instead of just owning up to what you did and saying sorry, that's gaslighting. I wasn't being sensitive at all. Like, me saying, and I'm pretty sure I said, like, you saying stuff like that makes me uncomfortable, please don't, you know? Someone, a woman, or not a woman even, saying something makes them uncomfortable is not being too sensitive. That is a way to shame somebody for sharing their feelings. How would you feel as a grown white man if you said something made you uncomfortable at your workplace and you expected it to be acknowledged and accepted and it wasn't? How would you feel then? What if you told me something made you uncomfortable and you wouldn't want to deal with that at your workplace? Which I have told him this before. I told him I'm kind of happy I don't work at that gas station liquor store anymore because I just got hit on all the time, no matter if I wore a ring, no matter if I tried to look ugly, or if I wore a hat that covered most of my face, or wore sunglasses, anything to try to hide myself or make it seem like I didn't want attention. People still would like hound me. Men, I'm allowed to say it. It was all men. Okay, I'm not being sexist by saying that. The men who did this were sexist because they didn't consider my feelings at all during this. I know it's not a stupid feminist, it's not a feminist thing to want your feelings acknowledged and heard and respected. As men, don't you want that? So what is the deal with frowning upon a woman for speaking her mind and having boundaries? So anyway, I'm over-explaining without getting into why I'm so upset about this. So after I told him it made me uncomfortable, he said that I was being too sensitive. And that's when something in me was like, no, don't put up with this. I was like, sir, that is sexual harassment, and you will not tell me I'm being too sensitive for saying I do not like it. How about just don't say stuff like that? It is that simple. And I walked out. Well, guess what he starts to do then? Pick up the whole stand. So he picked everything up and started to put it away and get ready to leave. So, like, shut down the whole operation, basically. In a way saying, all right, we're done. I'm not selling with you anymore, you know? And at this point, I'm like, okay, so he's now going to be overly sensitive because I shared my emotions about what he said to me, making me uncomfortable, which is not right, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, not right, okay? Get this straight. And if you're on my channel and don't agree with that, please get off. Please. I'm so sick of dealing with people like this. Insensitivity is not something that you have to put up with. And do not let people gaslight you into thinking you do, okay? Midwest or not. I don't know where I would feel comfortable with not be like so harassed. I also think it has to do with me being single, honestly. If I was married, would this man have felt comfortable saying that to me? No. The woman who owns the gas station has a husband who also owns the gas station. He would not have said that to her. Literally never would say that to her. He respects her. Does not respect me. Because I do not have a man ready to throw hands for me, Men expect that I will not throw hands. I will throw hands. The next time if anybody ever tries to assault me again, hands are being thrown. Like, verbal harassment is different. But still, like, you do not get to verbally harass a woman just because you're alone with her, you've been working with her all day. What, are you bored? Am I not allowed to wear a dress? Like, I am so annoyed, dude, with all of this. And I started to say all this to him. I'm like, so am I not allowed to wear a dress? Like, you think you can just make comments like that to me? Think of me as your daughter. You wouldn't say anything like that to your daughters. You know, and I'm not saying all this to him, like, to start a fight. Like, I am saying all of this because he's acting like a toddler and starting to put all of this stuff away as if I did something wrong, when he just can't accept that he did something wrong. He would rather put everything away and blame me and call me too sensitive. No, honey, that would have worked on me 2-3 years ago. I would have felt bad about myself and thought that I was in the wrong for this, for sticking up for myself and telling him I was uncomfortable and setting a boundary, saying, no, please don't say things like that to me, it makes me uncomfortable. You shouldn't say that to women at all, actually. You shouldn't make comments about their bodies, about kissing them. Like, there is one person and one person alone that I would want even joking about kissing me, okay? And that is if I had a partner, okay? Or, like, so why do you think it's okay to say that? Like, okay, this story is supposed to be way shorter. I didn't want to elongate it. I'm just adding all of my emotions to this because I am so flabbergasted that this man literally wanted to make it seem like I'd done wrong. And what he kept saying to me was, I don't know what I can say to you anymore. I don't know what I can say. And I'm like, yes, you do. I'm telling you. Like, I'm literally telling you what I am comfortable with you not saying to me, which is sexual, weird, physical comments. Don't say those things to me. And you're gonna say then, I don't know what I can say to you and not say to you now. Sir, I think I'm telling you what I'm comfortable with you telling me and not telling me. Men think that it's so easy to make women the problem. I'm not the problem here, buddy, and I will go find somebody else who is willing to help me sell my houseplants that I grew with my heart and soul and that I was so happy about, and who won't sexualize me because I have a body. I felt so good about myself starting this day and ended up feeling so bad about myself. So that's not okay. That is not okay. I'm trying to survive and sell my houseplants. That's all I was trying to do. Anyway, so what happened after that was he just kept picking up his stuff around me. And so what I did was I started putting my stuff, all of my jars of houseplants, into this one tray to make it easier. And luckily, the man who had given me a ride at the beginning of this story, he told me that he would come pick me up at the end of the night when we were ready to be done and take all of my plants home with me because he knew I wasn't going to be able to do this all myself. And the reason that this guy I'm working with, selling stuff with, couldn't help me with a ride is because he has a whole trailer set up on the back of his truck, which is what he sells all of his goods out of. So that's why he couldn't come pick me up. He would have had to drive through this weird construction part to get to where I'm staying, and so he couldn't do it. So thank goodness the 7-Eleven is so close to where I'm staying, but still the construction made it difficult. But yeah, so this guy giving me a ride really helped. So as the guy I was working with was picking the rest of his stuff up, taking all of his signs down, mind you, doing it aggressively, right next to my face, he'd like reach past me and like rip his signs down. I'm like, okay. My dog can tell there's something going on, and she's literally sitting in the chair that I was sitting at, shivering. It's not cold. She just knows that there was an argument, and now that the energy's off, so she's like freaking out. It was great. Mr. Guy from the beginning of the story pulls up. as if he was called to come and pick me up. He was. The guy that I was selling stuff with called this man and told him to come pick my ass up. He was done working with me. He even gave me my sign that me and him collectively made together. It says houseplants. It's huge. Not the one that I've shown you, but the other one that I made there. I think I actually got a clip of that. But yeah, he gave it back to me, which if we were going to continue working together, he was going to keep half of my plants, the ones that were in the jars that don't need sunlight. He was going to keep those in his trailer, and we were going to continue doing this for like a couple of weeks. But did he want to talk about any of that? No. Did he want to even give me the fruit that he said he was going to give me? No. Like, it was so awkward, and I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to ask. I don't like asking for things, let alone asking somebody for things that I now know just is sexualizing me in their head and wants to be able to make weird comments at me and not be held accountable for them. So I didn't want to ask for the fruit. I didn't want to ask for anything anymore. I didn't even want to work with him anymore at that point. And one thing I did tell him to his face too was, that's enough to make a woman not want to work with you anymore. And that wasn't me saying I don't want to work with you anymore. Not yet at that point was I saying that. I was saying that so that he knew, when you say things like that, that is enough to make a woman not want to work with you anymore. Blatant. I wasn't being too sensitive at all by saying that. I was just stating a point that he should learn to understand at his age of what, over 60? You still haven't learned that? Okay, I don't think you will at this point, so I'm not going to try to teach it to you. I'm just not going to work with you anymore. That is not okay behavior. Not acceptable, unacceptable behavior. Thank goodness I'm able to stick up for myself. But when this man came and picked me up, this, again, guy, green pickup truck, very nice, was taking me home, I was able to vent all of this to him, and he was very nice and understanding, and he was sorry that this happened with this man. And when he first got like into the driver's side and was about to start driving to take me home, my face like broke. Like, I almost started crying and breaking down because I just was in shock. I could not believe, like, I want to say that it is not me, but like, it is me that causes issues, but not purposefully. It's just how I look, which is so unnerving to say, so unnerving to accept and know that, like, oh, I can't work with this type of man who's in the Midwest and just is like slightly sexist because things might go awry. Like, it's just weird. Why should I feel like that? Like, I shouldn't. So I'm going to search through life to not have to work with people like that who make me uncomfortable, because that's not okay, and you shouldn't have to accept that. You shouldn't have to settle for a workplace where you're made to feel uncomfortable, where you aren't respected, where you say what makes you comfortable and uncomfortable and it is not respected. That's not, you shouldn't have to deal with that. I am a very strong believer in that, okay? This is making me question everything. This is making me want to delete my OnlyFans, delete everything that I have out there, because I am so uncomfortable with being like only sexualized and only seen for my body and only cared about for my body. Like, what does it have to take for me to show you guys that my heart and love is what means the most to me? Like, I want to wear cute clothes. Am I not allowed to? Like, without being teased, without being mocked, harassed? Like, I don't feel comfortable wearing cute clothes out in public anymore because I'm scared of that. And I shouldn't be. And this isn't even like a provocative dress. It just has cute sides to it. Like, and I just like ripped some of my hair out. That hurt. Ouch. But like, yeah, this is making me want to just go off the grid for a while, and I'm not joking, and I already was, and like was considering and kind of planning that because of my current situation. I tried to make a GoFundMe. That didn't work. I think it was too sad, which is just embarrassing. But honestly, I think nobody wanted to donate because it was like too sad or too hard to understand, because someone with CPTSD seems to be very hard to understand. And it seems like GoFundMe, people want to donate when it's like a happy story. So I don't know. I'm not in a place to be able to like make everything that's happened to me lately seem happy. Like, I've been able to in my mind, but I don't know how the hell I would do that for like I don't even want to try with GoFundMe anymore. It's humiliating to have one donation after so long of having it up and like literally posting it so much and talking about it on my YouTube. It was just weird. It's hard for me to ask for help because my whole family has always shamed me for asking or needing help. They shame each other for needing help. Like, that's just how they are. So it's hard for me, I don't know, to even ask for or receive help. So it felt weird anyway asking for help, so I just took it down. And it did seem too sad. Like, I didn't know how to not make it seem sad, and it just kept getting sadder. So I just took it down. But I have 2 farms that I'm going to, and I'm really hoping, tomorrow I'm going to 2 farms. I'm really hoping I can stay on one of them and like intern. And there's like work trade opportunities on some farms where you can stay and live there for free, but not for free because you work to live there. So I'd be putting in work, staying in a farm. I'd be out in nature. It'd be really nice for me. I may or may not be able to make YouTube videos though, so no matter what, I'm gonna edit some. I have a lot of those pre-filmed ASMR book reading videos, so I'm gonna edit those and make sure that those are still coming out. I think until the end of June I'll still have those being able to come out pre-released. So, but if I go MIA for a while, it's because I need to figure out my next moves in life, and I don't have the money or resources to really do that. So going where I can is what I'm gonna have to do right now. And honestly, a farm somewhere out in nature sounds like it'd be really, really good for me right now. So let's really hope I find a good situation. Give this video a like to wish me luck. 1 like equals 1 luck. Yeah, there's no real end to that story. I was gonna like have it like really precise and like make a lot of sense and then like give all of my feelings at the end of it, but I'm really tired and I realized I had to film this and go to sleep so that I can make it to these farms in the morning. So I decided to film this like even though I'm really tired and weak and can't even process it yet. So I ended up saying all of my feelings throughout the whole story. So yeah, maybe I'll edit it better. I don't know. I might just leave it like this because, yeah, don't settle for disrespect. Don't let yourself be gaslit. It's not something you can always spot, but once you learn how to spot when you're being gaslit, as you are being gaslit, it's pretty easy to stick up for yourself. And it took me way too long to be able to do that, but that's okay. Everybody's different. Everybody's minds work differently, and it takes everybody different amounts of times to learn different specific things. And for me, it's been an ailment to have to learn certain things like that because of my traumas relating specifically to things like that. So I am starting to lose my mind and not be able to talk about this anymore. I also wanted to film this and get it out of my mouth because I never want to talk about this again. I hate that this all happened. Dude didn't even say bye to me, yet we started the day off so well. It was just a friendly old man who was selling fruit, who like loves to talk about his local honey and how good it is for you, and like loved to help me out. You're allowed to speak your feelings. You're allowed to have boundaries, okay? Especially as a woman, especially as a man, especially as anybody. Don't let people tell you you're being too sensitive. That is the stupidest excuse to not own up to what you've done or said. Especially if it's such a small thing that you can just own up to and say sorry for. When people act like it is hard to apologize to you, that's a red flag in itself. Don't settle for that. One, they're calling you too sensitive, and two, they're unable to apologize to you over something supposedly small to them. They're lying. They're weird. They have their own problems. They are literally lying to themselves and want themselves to seem like better people to themselves at that point. It's weird. Like, if you want to feel like a better person to yourself, just be a better person. It's not that hard. I'm like flabbergasted at how I've been treated at some points in my life. Like, what? Thank God I can still smile through all this. Like, if I didn't have 2 farms that I plan to go to tomorrow morning and then right after that in tomorrow afternoon, I would be pretty like depressed, like not knowing like what my next steps were. But thank God I've had like multiple resources telling me like, oh, you could try this, and you could try going and asking farms this and see if there's farms you could stay at. And then I've reached out to multiple farms and had 2 reach back out to me, and now I have literal things to do that are useful, that people are going to be nice to me and see me as like they're gonna see me as something other than just a female body. And that's what I need right now. Okay, I'm really emotional about this. Which I have the right to be about. I can't even talk. I need to relax. So I just got back from the first farm today. And I feel really bleak. There was other volunteers there, and they were already all friends. They were all in relationships. A few of them were married, and they would like just kept talking about it, and I wasn't a part of that conversation. I didn't want to be at all. I talked to them a couple of times, but it's just something in me is like really not sure if I can integrate into society the way that I want to, the way that would be healthiest for me. Like, I don't know if I'm capable of that. It's partially being treated so badly by people, being told that this or that, just all the bad things I've been told really stick with me, and it's embarrassing, and they prevent me from living like a normal person, even to the point where I'm not sure how to get along with other people, or if I even want to get along with other people. Things are so triggering for me because I've never really been treated right, and it's made me isolate myself more, so I don't know. Honestly, I'm just kind of having a bad day, which sucks because tomorrow I'm supposed to do the Kundalini class, and I have a ketamine treatment in the same day, and the old lady I'm staying with is coming back, so I'm not going to be alone in there anymore. I really don't know what I'm going to do. It genuinely seems like the people I need support from so badly right now just will not give it to me and aren't capable of giving it to me. And I need to support myself, but I'm not strong enough to do that. So, fingers crossed that the right situation comes along for me. Because, yeah, this field is cool, but there's many things wrong with this place that I don't want to talk about. And I want to feel comfortable. So, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm able to properly communicate anything at this point. Like, I tried to ask for help. I tried to make a GoFundMe, and it all just was too sad that nobody donated. Like, one person donated $25. It just was too sad, and I don't know how to make this positive. I don't even know how to talk to all the rest of the volunteers that I was with today. I, felt that I wasn't able to talk to them about my situation without it sounding like the most depressing thing in the entire world and sounding like the most depressed person ever. Because as I said it came off that way, and I don't know how to make it not, because it is. This is like a really scary situation for me right now, and I'm already weak mentally in many ways because of my condition, so this is all really, really hard for me. Really, really hard for me. And I know I make myself look happy in my videos. You guys, I capture myself in happy moments and post it. That's what you're seeing. You get to see me happy. You also get to see my other emotions. That doesn't mean that I'm crazy. That means that I'm human. I'm honestly, like, unsure about YouTube now even. So, because it just doesn't feel like it can ever be successful unless I had help. And I can't have that right now, So the man who gave me a ride home kept trying to make excuses for the guy and why he would have said something like that to me. And he kept saying, men are dogs. Men are dogs. And I'm like, yeah, that is not an excuse. That is an excuse that has been used for years upon hundreds of years to be able to say whatever you want to women. No, you can be a dog all you want, but keep it in your damn head. It's not hard. To disrespect a lady like that, for what? There's no reason for it. There's no excuse for it. I deserve to be respected. I deserve to have things righted. I deserve to be apologized to. And I deserve to have things made up for. Okay? Being a dog is not an excuse for anything. It shouldn't be about man or woman. I should have been able to work with this guy without being sexualized. That is my whole point. It is 2023. Women are allowed to speak their minds now and stick up for themselves. It is not too sensitive for somebody to be able to have boundaries and want them respected. That is not too sensitive. And I hate that I'm completely doubting myself now after all of this. I feel worse about myself. And I don't know what to do now, because I don't know if I can integrate with a society that treats me like this constantly. Will I ever be understood? I do not know. Also, the power is out today at these apartments I'm staying at. So it's a weird day. Like, I can't even turn the light on in the bathroom. I can't even use the stove to heat up my coffee. So, yay. I'm supposed to go to another farm today in the afternoon and talk to them about a possible internship living situation. So that would be nice, but I also realized today how hard farm work really is, and I'm not in top physical shape to be doing that as much as I thought I'd be able to. So I'm in a lot of pain, and it sucks to need a good resting place, but I'm going to have to put a lot of work in order to have that. So, and I already feel like I'm annoying the old lady that I'm staying with. I just having a bad morning. Gonna go to that second farm later. Hopefully I'll feel better after that. We'll see. I also, yes, have dirt on my face because of the farm work, and I can't see my face in the bathroom because I can't turn on the light in the bathroom. So I'm just gonna have to leave this on my face. Whatever you're doing, have a good day, good night, good evening. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, please, if you made it this far, especially, because that must mean you like me or something. So please subscribe, because that would help me possibly progress YouTube as my career. Yeah. Bye, guys.